Okay, and the magic machine tells me that I'm live. The magic machine tells me that I'm live, so I will trust in the magic machine, as we are all forced to do. As we become more and more reliant upon the technological connections, we need to meditate upon what will happen and occur when those connections fail, and the powers that may be wielded over our lives by those people that have control over those things. I don't mean to be morose. I don't mean to bring down the house. It's just, you know, the meditation goes with the meditation. And we say hello to Mario Heat with a hashtag I do not recognize. I do not know what the, I meditate upon the past. People who have been part of this channel's journey knows that I've been journeying and talking about the meta RPG and time travel. And time travel, not of the Jules Verne variety. Absolutely. Spread the faith, spread the word. But borrowing that terminology and thinking of guided meditation and the power of suggestion and knowing the power of ubiquity and the power of hypnosis, and really knowing and understanding, given the fact that, as I surmise and assess, and as many others have surmised and assessed, today's world, like a speculative world dreamed up by a young Monty Cook 10 years ago in 2013, is just a world that is made up and subsists of the remnants and the debris, the accumulated nostalgia and stories and histories and stories we really maybe probably have to be honest with ourselves, we don't know and understand, though we think we do. We're adrift in a world of imagination and yesterday's dreams. So I've been experimenting, and this has been an ongoing experiment that I've talked about on this YouTube channel and my past YouTube channels, going back as far as 2018, with the so-called CW Chanter Secret Space Program Whistleblower School. I've talked about this before. I won't talk about it at length now. We don't need to reinvent the time machine each and every time. No pun intended. All puns intended. I have no idea how her butt got indented. It was like that when I got here. So I told the guy. Anyway, jokes. The power of nostalgia loops. The 20-year nostalgia loop. The 30-year, 40-year, 25-year, 10-year nostalgia loop. People talk about nostalgia loops. Periods of time in the past that seem to ubiquitously come up in cycles into the present moment. That if you look around, especially in today's day and age of, since it's became an age of recorded media, film, audio, cassettes, tape, DVDs, ones and zeros, forever capturing moments and changing and rendering mutable and plastic moments in time. that since the invention of recorded media, since nothing ever goes away, and since the invention of ever perfected digital, recording media, nothing ever ages. If the future is juxtaposed by the past and the past is juxtaposed by the future, if yin requires a yang, a positive requires a negative, if the past no longer becomes the past because it's forever in the moment, even though Ram Dass said, be here now, be ever forever in the present moment, maybe we are truly becoming more and more an enlightened society. Maybe we are just all some sort of universal Neo waking up to the matrix and the delusion. Because, folks, if the future requires a past, if the past goes away because it's no longer the past, because it's forever preserved in the present moment, perfected, never remember. We can tell back in the day, even though I was a kid, I knew that image I was watching, I learned now that when I was a kid, I was born in 1975, right? Woodstock happened in 69. It happened just 6 years before I was born. That's not a long period of time. But when I was a child, and by the time I got to be, a memory making machine myself and saw images of Woodstock when I was 5 or 6 years old, that by the time that was like 80, 81, those images, because I saw modern media, those images, because of the grain quality I could see and I could tell, the media itself told me, this is not of your time. This is somehow ancient. Because I was a little kid, it seemed like it was 6 years. That was more than the time that I was presently alive. So that was, Jesus, that was a long period of time. And even when I was in high school and whatever, I'd read books like Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test, and the perception for me was that this period of time with the Doors and come on, now touch me, babe, that was somehow decades and decades, like that was some long, long ago. And forget about it. Things like World War II, that might as well have been ancient Rome. But that's perception. And that was perception that was aided by the fact that the stuff from World War II was grainy as hell, and it was black and white, for God's sakes. You could really tell that it wasn't from now. But I meditate upon 10-year, 20-year, 30-year nostalgia loops all the time nowadays. It's kind of become almost like a profession for me, thinking about these nostalgia loops and how these things keep on coming back, and how the present moment has just become a repeat and a recycling of what has come before on a clockwork cycling. And it's been that way, almost seems that way since, probably about, maybe 1968. I mean, it's really beginning with recording media. Remember, Sha Na Na was a nostalgia 1950s rock and roll ooh-ah-ooh, tribute band at Woodstock. So at Woodstock itself, rock and roll was already saying, we've got an early history that we want to pay tribute to. There was a nostalgia act at Woodstock. But it is what it is. It doesn't necessarily have to be all depressing. But when I move through it, when we get to the present moment, we have, if things recycle on 10, 20, 35, and 40-year cycles, by the time we get to 2023, the 1980s have been recycled. We know how long the 80s have been recycled. You've experienced it. And Hollywood's freaking out, and mass media is freaking out because we're not moved anymore by Pac-Man or Pixels or whatever. Remember that whole Pixels video game thing? That was like, they made that movie like over 10 years ago. how many times can you loop the loop? And we talk about the RPG culture, and I part of the reason I'm doing this gameplay today, and I'm going to get to it. Don't worry, I will, and I'm going to explain to you what it is we're doing. It's totally improvisational. It's totally improvisational. So we're going to see if it works. And when it was originally set up, when I had the original conception idea, I was going to do it as a document cam thing. So, but I just couldn't get the materials to all fit under one roof, under one lens. So that's why I'm doing it like this. I knew that if I didn't do like, I was talking in the last video that I did, we were talking about, it was this kind of like, ominous, TTRPGs are dying and, and we're hastening it. And I was originally going to do like a part 2 because I felt like the conversation was going, but I didn't feel like the conversation had ended. But then I thought, oh man, you know what I mean? Like I had kind of lamented at the end of that video, like, oh, I'm getting caught up in the controversies, the endless controversies about, Watsy versus Pazio or Pazzo fanboys versus this, that, or the other. It's the same thing that happened with the New Age spirituality stuff in the last, series of channels that I was running on YouTube. You lose focus being caught up in, the Michigas and the bullshit. But the truth of the matter is that the Michigas and the BS is all that really happens. I mean, I watched a TTRPG YouTube channels and I observed the whole community, and it can be separated into lunkheads that are kind of trying to do some sort of professional TTRPG channel, and they all lament the same thing, but they all do the same thing. It's 5e or you get no views, but then so they then just doing corporate bullshit one way or the other, and the quality of that garbage is just atrocious. Or it's people just parroting things left and right, just trying to desperately drag on or catch the culture some way, or people desperately trying to play the right wing, seemingly play the right wing of the culture wars, which I think is just disgusting and pointless. They're ridiculous. And the few people that are actually just trying to cover role-playing games, they seem to come along, do some stuff for a while, and then realize they can't get any traction with anything. Like no one really gets anything going, so they just generally stop. Or they keep it going for, or they just, keep going, just knowing and understanding they're going to get like, if they don't talk about, whatever the heck is going on with the house burning down over nothing, that they're going to get like 100 views. And then people are going to go over all the forums and talk about, oh man, it's such bullshit that if there's nothing, controversial happening, then the people are the problem. And yet the people are going to say, what's the problem? What are you going to do? So, get off my lawn. I blame society. We say hello to Mario Heat, first in the live chat with some sort of Phil Spencer stuff. I have no... It's Phil Spencer. Who's Phil Spencer? I feel like I know that name. I'm going to feel like such a jerk when I put it together. Which one's Phil Spencer? And if I find out that you're like bigging up, if you got me to say someone stupid, I'll be like, I'll kill you. I'll come up to Canada and kill you myself. No, I won't. God damn it. Mario Heat. Ugh. I'm joking, YouTube algorithm. Me and Mario Heat are totally cool. My control over the school is Toto. Don't worry. Say hello to Tim Frey. Thank you. At 48, someone my current age at the time of birth would be born in 1926. That's how you make yourself feel old. Holy crap. Yeah, don't do. Wow. Woo. Yeah. Yep. Take me out back and shoot me. Take me out back. Take me out back and shoot me. Take me out back. Take me out back and shoot me. Take me out back. Take me out back and shoot me. I'm done. Yo, it's totally true because, given the date of birth, it's such a joke. Anyway, moving on. What are we going to actually try and do? So I didn't want to kvetch, complain, and do another round of the world's going on fire, TTRPGs are doomed, you can't stop it, accept the inevitable demise and destruction, give yourselves onto the fire of fates, you know what I mean? Yes, that exactly. Take you in the back to shoot ropes. Google algorithm. That's exactly what I said. My beat's completely different. Their one went dun 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 dun, but mine went dun 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 dun. It's completely different. Man, Queen, whatever. So all this year, I've been concentrating on the years 2013, 2003, 1998 on the 25-year loop, even though that's a corpo loop, whatever, we got to deal with it, and 1993 and 1983. Okay? So what I got here in front of me is I've got 4 books I've got a book from 2013, I've got a book from 2003, I got a book from 1993, and I got a book from 1983, all completely unrelated. We've got Numenera Player's Guide from 2013. We've got Warhammer 40K chapter approved. This is like a collection of various things from there. Warhammer 40K. It's a mini war game. It's not even a role-playing game. We've got the Wild Side Cyberpunk source book for the Street from 1993 for Cyberpunk. Okay. And we've got Timeship, a role-playing game of time travel and adventure, which is nutty. Okay. From 1983. Okay, put those back in order. And what are we going to do? So it's free improv, solo RPG. Let's actually play with 4 decades of lore rules and Tarot Oracle. So continuing our nostalgia loop frenzy, I've got a Tarot deck from 2003, the Egyptian Tarot, which is a little bit, hard to read because it's a pip deck. And I've got the Cosmic Tarot from 1998. Now, we don't have 1998 in our lineup for books, so I'm going to make an executive decision and put the 2003 Egyptian Tarot to the side and use our Cosmic Tarot as our main Oracle. Oracle is in solo role-playing games, because we don't have a dungeon master or a game master, because we don't have a DM or a GM. Who's going to describe the world to us? Who's going to give us information that we don't know? Who's going to, provide us stuff, that we don't have, the input that the DM or the GM would provide for us? There's a couple of different techniques that you can use and people utilize and do. There are some role-playing game systems that are set up as solo role-playing game systems. There are some solo role-playing game systems that just have addendums or additional materials that are available to make them have solo materials for them, like Tunnels and Trolls. Tunnels and Trolls, which was the second role-playing game ever made in 1975 by Ken St. Andre, really came to fame with its solo materials, even though it wasn't designed to be a game exclusively, and was never at one point ever marketed exclusively as a solo game. It kind of has its biggest fan base among solo players, or a huge fan base among solo players, because the solo books were just ubiquitous for players back in the day. Anywho, so the system itself might be set up to have either random dungeon generation rules to help a person randomly generate a dungeon as they go, and populate it with monsters, like the micro RPG system by Noah Patterson, does, that I love. Or you can use Oracle systems that can front load or add on to other RPG systems that to help them run solo. 2 famous ones are there's a thing called the Mythic RPG Oracle. I might not be referring to it by its proper name, and the proper name is Mythic, the other words that follow the word mythic, I might be scroobaging a little bit. And there's also one called, I know there's one called, I think it's called Flextail. It's like the size of like the entire Canadian phone book. It's like ridiculous. You could like kill somebody with it, or use it as a doorstop. And there's other ones as well that are out there. And there are a lot of them that are great. And then also you can just use, random, tables, But I thought, I've got dice, and I thought we could just use, I've done this before, use a set of tarot cards. We say hello to Rogue Status. Hello, Rogue Status. How you doing, baby? Long time no see. Okay. So I'm just going through what we're going to do tonight. So starting at the top, the idea is I have no rule set, right? When I say free improv, this is totally free improv. There's a technique in divination called bibliomancy. Okay? It's divination through looking up random selections. It gets its name from traditionally what it would be is looking for information or looking for insight from the Bible. You would just open up randomly to the Bible somewhere and, point your finger, and wherever you got to, that's what it would be. But people generally over time would just develop it as a technique, and as a technique of divination, just use it. They would say, go to a book, any random book, pull it off the shelf, open it up to a random page, put your finger down on a random paragraph. There's your insight. There's your insight for the day. Use it as in lieu of your pulling your tarot card for the day. Use it if you need insight into a problem. Use it if you need a sudden burst of inspiration. You've got writer's block. You can't think of a damn thing to say. You can't think of, just pull a random book off the shelf, steal the first line, type that line, and go from there. Do it. You're not keeping these pages for your book, but we're breaking through. You need to write. Just write, whatever it is. So along those lines, I thought, well, I don't want to create another, we're going to burn, the world is burning, everything sucks, a broadcast regarding, everyone being a sellout shill bullshit artist for their various corporate interests in tabletop role-playing games, which is ridiculous and pointless because, folks, it's all a cottage industry at this point. No one is going to make any money except the higher-ups at Hasbro and WotC. And some of the few people at the higher ups at Pazio. No one else is going to make a worthwhile dollar a dime. Not you, not anyone else. It's all going to be just a little bit of a hobby for you, and that's it. So enjoy it while it lasts, and then everyone else will be able to just go back to peacefully coexisting in the realm of, this is alternative art. And that's beautiful. And that's what it should be. So Numenera is from 2013. The Player's Guide, the Warhammer chapter approved thing is from 2003. Wildside Cyberpunk is from 1993, and Timeship is from 1983. And I said the only goal for the game, I put this, and I didn't even have a goal at first. I didn't have any idea. I thought we were going to go just totally through. Rogue Status doing the time warp, figuring out when he would be born. Yeah, absolutely. I didn't even have originally a goal for what would be the goal of the game, but it's just then I put in the description box in the doobly-doo, the goal is to get onto the Timeship, which is the book at the bottom of the pile. So I guess we're going from the top and we're trying to get down. Now, I'm not going to start at the front of the Numenera Player's Guide and make a Numenera character and use that character to go down. I don't even know how we're going to start. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out when we're going to start. It's 2, 4, 4, 8. So we're starting right now, and I've got 8 people watching me live. So I've got a piece of graph paper. I've got graph paper for graph paper. I've got a legal pad for when we write down things that have to be written down. I've got the tarot cards for oracle cards. I've got one of these things in case there's like points or things that need to be like that. The only thing we know, the goal is to get into the Timeship. I don't know if we're going to get there, if we'll die along the way. And if we come along a rule, then we can either take it or not take it. If we might end up making a character along the way, we might not. We know we started, and there's already words at the top of this page, but I don't really care. But it says Darrington Press, State of the Press, 2023, 4/20/2023. Matthew Mercer loves Hitler's B-Day. That was a joke I made because of 4/20. Announced at the full end 2 new RPGs, Illuminated Worlds and Daggerheart, a dice pool system game by D6. A D6 dice pool system game by, and then okay, but we have D6. So I've got a D6. Okay? So we'll just take it from there. Roll a D6. And I got a 4. What does that mean? I don't know. I'll go to page 4. 1. Go to page 4. I don't know. Says Dave Bucky says, dig baby, I get it. Dave Bucky says, love y'all, I'm driving. Okay. Rogues are technically a character type, right? Pardon my ignorance. No, they are. Well, it depends on what system you're playing. So we rolled the dice and we got to a page. Well, you know what? What do we do now? We might as well. The words on this thing got us so far as we got the dice to get us to page 4. I guess we'll pull an oracle card. Tell us what we do from here. I mean, pull tarot card as our oracle. Figure out what we're going to do from here. But this is Numenera overview. And the first lines at the top of the page are, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Now, check this out. There's an inference here that's not usually explored by people, but is worth bearing in mind. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. You know what that means? It means that magic, though we think of magic like the world of Dungeons and Dragons as being an extremely primitive place, but think of what happens there. Think of the effects that people are able to achieve and do. Think of the technological achievements that are I call them technological achievements, but think of like ancient alien theory. Right now, I'm not buying into ancient theory, but think about it. If any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic, any world that we hear of being described as magical, where people are doing magical effects, we're told and we're taught that they're achieving those effects by some quote unquote supernatural means or some means of occult, whatever. Maybe that's what they think they're doing, or maybe that's what we're told to believe that they thought they're doing, or as observers of them, we think that they're doing. But that's only because it's indistinguishable from magic. But what they're in fact doing is actually high technology. It goes both ways. It's a two-way street. C-Wag says, thank you for calling out Pathfinder shills. No problem, C-Wag. I do what I can. So let's pull a card and see if we can move it with that insight. Because remember, the tarot card. So let's think about this. Let's think about the tarot cards as a technology. So we've got this. We're playing this game, and it's a time traveling game, and we're trying to get onto the time ship. I'm already thinking of bloop bloop, kind of an 80s theory, like kind of a video game kind of concept of trying to get to the bottom level. And the early days of Dungeons and Dragons, because we're on the time loop. Because remember, it's 2023. It is 1983, and it is 2003, and it is absolutely 2003. Because in 2003, even though we were all gassed up and jazzed up, certain people were all gassed up and jazzed up about 3.0. Even though there were a whole bunch of people out there going 3.0 is just some bullshit. That's not really Dungeons and Dragons. Just like in 2019, a whole bunch of people were jazzed up going, oh man, this is so cool, this thing, Pathfinder 2. And a whole bunch of people going, that's not fucking really a game, blah, blah, blah. And then in 2003, a whole bunch of people were like, yo, what's this bullshit about 3.5? We just bought these books in 2000. What the hell are you doing at 3.5? What the fuck? And 2023, People are being told, oh, no, don't worry. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Even though you just bought all these books because we told you we're totally not like Watsy. Those books you bought that we just came out with in 2019, whatever, 2020. It's just 3 years later, but, oh, man, for some strange reason, we just got to get you to buy more books. Shadow Zone Productions. Remind you to slap a like on this video. David Bucky, sex magic is why sex is make-believe to me. There you go. Ba-da-da-da-da-wah. There you go. Let's pull a card. Let's pull a card for magic indistinguishable. Oh, wait, let me turn these around, baby. Hold on. Technology indistinguishable from magic, magic indistinguishable from technology. We're looking to get going. So we're looking for some indications that will help us figure out where in the Numenera Player's Guide we move forward to, or where we start. Boom. And remember, I have no rule set, so this is like, it may take me a minute to kind of figure out how to play. Queen of Wands, Water of Fire. So the court cards are people, or they certainly can be. And, well, actually, this is beautiful because this may be difficult. This process of doing a solo RPG may be difficult without either a guide or an avatar. So if we're talking about where to start, it might not be starting and creating a Numenera character, but maybe it's best if we have either a birth of a persona. We have someone moving through a space. The Queen of Wands, I don't know if she's our player character. She's a queen. She may be our mother. She may be our origin point, or perchance she's a matriarch of our culture, society, sending us forward on a mission. Or maybe she's a guardian angel helping us out. Wands is the suit of fire. It's the creative force. It's a creative force and energy. But the queen is a nurturing element. She's of water. So that calms that fire down, and it allows those two energies to interact and bring forth the best. But we still come from the realm of fire. So we got to mind our P's and Q's, and we don't want to get the Queen of Wands angry. Because and you can see what they've done in this deck. The point of the Cosmic Tarot from 1998, I identify it as being from 1998 because this is important to me, the years, was really, the author makes it very, very clear that what they really wanted to do was, through the imagery, make the card meaning and kind of message clear and easy to understand. And we see here is this portrayal of this, fiery kind of almost Sophia Loren kind of, hot-blooded, Latin, woman. This is a woman that will care for you, and she'll protect you, but you don't want to get her upset. Okay? But I feel what we have here from her is an indication to look for identity. Now, Rogue, I'm not even going to highlight that comment because I don't want to get you in trouble. Now, let me do one of these. We landed on page 4, and we got this Queen of Wands. Let me see something. Hold on. Here we go. There's a line right here. The people of the ninth world. So I knew that we were looking at people. Okay, so we were talking about people, and then here's this thing called people, the people of the ninth world. In the youth of an age, people use the resources they have on hand coupled with whatever understanding of their world they can master to carve out a life for themselves. Okay. In the youth of an age, people use the resources they have on hand. Okay. So what resources do I have on my hand? I have the tarot cards, and I have more of these dice. I have several dice. Okay. Now that's the Queen of Wands. I'm trying to think. I don't want to use too many external sources. What's it? Queens well, I have an 8-sided die, so I can roll an 8-sided die and just add one. Because I'm thinking of like a maternal number is like a 9 is a kind of maternal number because baby's born after 9 months. I don't know. But I don't have a 9-sided die. I didn't bring my Dungeon Crawl Classic approved off-sided die with me. I got a 6. We had a 1 and the 7. What am I doing? I don't know what the heck we're doing. Just messing around. There we go. Oi, when do you roll? That's what it says. Hold on page 7. When do you roll? I don't know. You tell me. Anytime your character attempts a task, the GM assigns a difficulty to that task, and you roll a d20 against the associated target number. Well, okay, but we need to substitute. We need to substitute. That's the main role of. We just need to. Okay, hold on. So I'll put the rule, but we just need a substitute for the word GM. And we have the task difficulty from Numenera. I guess we could take that if we wanted to. It's okay. So the GM assigns the test. So okay, so rule. Anytime you attempt a task, I'll just say assign somehow. Oh, we could roll for the difficulty because it's a 0 through 10 difficulty. You want to do that? We could get impossible tasks. If we get impossible tasks, we'll never be able to do them. So this could be okay. So we'll do this. Well, we could possibly roll for them. We're not locked in. Let's try this. Jonaside, you don't have a D9, or you? Do we have D9s? Right? There's D9s. Right? What am I thinking? I don't know. I'm getting screwed up. Anytime you attempt a task assigned, wait, what the heck? Anyway, anytime you attempt a task, assign a difficulty. We just don't want this to end up being a backdoor into just adopting the cipher system outright. Anytime you attempt a task, assign a difficulty to that task, and you roll a d20 against the associated target number. I guess that makes sense. Numenera uses a 20-sided die, 1d20 to determine the results of most actions. Whenever a roll of any kind is called for and no die is specified, roll a d20. The game master sets a difficulty for any given task. There are 10 degrees of difficulty. There you go. Thus, the difficulty of a task can be rated on a scale of 1 to 10. Each difficulty is a target number associated with it. The target number is always 3 times the task difficulty. So a difficulty 4 task is a target number of 12. To succeed at the task, you must roll the target number or higher. Okay. Before I write that down. Target number is What is that? 4 times the difficulty. Roll that number or higher. So if we roll a d10 to get the difficulty of a task, and say the difficulty of a task is we got to jump over that mouse, and we roll a d10 and we roll to figure out the difficulty is a 10, that means that we would have to roll a 40 on a d20. We can't do that. That means the task would be impossible, which is great because then we just have to, we'd be like, our guy can't do it. He fucks up. He's like screwed up. He's traumatized. Not, there are no D9s. But no, you have to familiarize yourself. Jonaside, there are D9s. I'm telling you, brother. Listen, I'm telling you, whatever number there are, they've got a dice for it. Look up this thing. It's called Zaki dice, I think it's called. In this game, Dungeon Crawl, it's called Dungeon Crawl Classics, I think it's called. Yeah. Whatever. They use these like ridiculous dice. They like use D30s. They use like D13s. It's shit crazy. And you look at, they have a D5. It's insanity. I used to have a whole bunch of them. I used to keep them in my bag, but I stopped because it was retarded. Now I'm going to get Grim Jim in trouble. I'm going to get myself in trouble. I was about to admonish Grim Jim for using that word. Now I've lost that right. Now I can't say that to him. Anyway. Yeah, we'd have to say like he was just like bizarrified by the rat somehow. Okay. So we use the tools at hand. And we got this far. So wait, I can't go backwards. Hold on. So we got from page 4 to page 9. So we're making progress. Okay? Right? I thought we made progress. Oh, page 7. I thought I was getting over enthusiastic. I jumped ahead 2 pages. Okay. So now we have to figure out how to get. Oh, and here are I should probably write this down. Wait. I think I have it somewhere. Hold on. Crap. I'll use this as a, let's see if I have this is a place mark. I'll put a place marker here. So we have this, go back to this. So we got 4 and we got 7. So what I was originally saying is, I'll do this. We have Rafael Gonzalez Catania says, hi from Brazil. Thank you for joining the live stream. Hey, Rafael, any number between 7 and 64. Dealer's choice. Because you're from Brazil and we love Brazil. Any number between 1 and 64. Your choice. Come a little bit closer. You're my kind of guy. So big and so strong. 13. Loving it. Now, Jonaside. Give me a number between 1 and 6. Raphael, you're part of the story now. You're part of the story. And plus, we're killing time. I love it. I should probably do more music, but I should have like I had the thing. Jonaside, we're looking for a number between 1 and 6. He's like, I know you're looking for a dice. I know you. Really, my friend? We have to wait. He's like probably went to the crapper. Anyone else? David Bucky. 5. Jonas said comes up with 5. I love it. Okay, here we go. We also have the Diablo Tarot card. 5. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skills. Check this out. Way to go, Jonaside. You become trained in one skill of your choice, other than attack or defense, as described in the rules overview on page 6. But fuck it. Choose a skill. We got, hold on. No, wait. That's backwards. We can't go backwards. We have to go forward. We have to go forward. So we get to choose a skill of our choice. Oh, wait. They're on the next page. Shit. I was hoping we would get, here we go. Hide. Let's see if we got that. They've got deceiving and escaping. That works. Skills. Sometimes your character gains a training in a specific skill or task. For example, your focus might mean that you're trained in sneaking or in climbing or jumping or social interactions. Other times your character can choose a skill to become trained in. You can pick a skill that relates to any task you think you might face. The game has no definitive list of skills. However, the following list offers ideas. Well, then we can do hide. And then we can just pick it. I like it. So we don't have a name. We don't have a gender. We don't have an identity. Check this out. We have a vague sense and understanding that we have some sort of maternal figure that cares for us, and that we know that we can that we're skilled in hiding. Yeah, hide, stealth. That's what we just write down. Skill. So I'm gonna write down. All of a sudden, we write down PC. Doom. Name. Unknown. Right? We don't know yet. Don't even know what else will go in there. With skills. I'm just putting hide, stealth. I'm just putting hide / stealth. We'll make it that what we want, what we will. And I've got obtained first skill. Stealth, hide. So I'm literally keeping, the minutes of the meeting. So I've got, maternal figure, Queen of Wands, roll system, rudimentary roll system, obtained first skill, stealth, hide. Okay. And we're still trying to get onto the time. You know what I mean? This is free improv. We didn't even have a skill. We didn't have a system. We had no map for these territories, which goes to show you this is have a map for territories, or don't. The world. And what's that directing me to? The world is directing me to the fact that I can literally do one of these. The ninth world, Numenera overview, creating your character type, character description, character focus, equipment. The ninth world. We already looked at that. The world. We've done it. We've got what we need from Numenera. Numenera is the Queen of Wands. It is where this is happening. Okay? We see that the rudimentary role system exists. We see that there's a basic skill that we have. We were pointed to the fact that we have some sort of persona, that there needs to be some sort of avatar, and we have a quest. We're trying to get to the Timeship. And the only way to do that is we have to begin the process of going down. Take care, Rogue. Take care. So we'll go down voluntarily. Having indicated, we started off with the tarot card of the Queen of Wands, and then we see the world. It's birthing out. But unfortunately, what lies immediately below the surface of 2013's Numenera, the gentle, wonderful, beautiful, hippy-dippy world of, not always, world of Numenera, is the shitbag world of Warhammer 40K. And this isn't even like 3rd edition. This is like 2nd edition. This is from 2003. Chapter Approved is a compilation of the Best of White Dwarf's Chapter Approved column, plus a number of new articles, all adding to the Warhammer 40,000 game system. As such, it contains new army lists, updates, clarifications, plus a host of other bits contributed by players. Not even having a sense really of who we are, what we are, we're digging in the dirt of the surface world, trying desperately to do what we're supposed to do, which is all we know is what we're supposed to do is get on to some, like a butterfly that knows instinctually that it needs to break out of the cocoon. We know we need to go beneath the surface. We need to go down through the time layers, though we don't know what's there. What's there? Bibliomancy away. We open up to a random page. We put our finger down on the paragraph. It says, for fast attack choices, I took a standard gargoyle brood, primarily so that I had a few more things to shoot with on landing. And also because with their bioplasma, the gargoyles can be surprisingly dangerous. For fast attack choices, I took a standard gargoyle brood. So we are born, I think we're born into the world, the next incarnation. We take the body of a gargoyle. Body obtained, incarnation achieved, and or self-vision obtained, like we see ourselves. Gargoyle. I got no problem with that. Primarily so that I had a few more. So it says, reads, for fast attack choices, I took a standard gargoyle brood, primarily so that I had a few more things to shoot with on landing. So we know that it has fast attack choice. That these are the qualities that we would have as a gargoyle. We have some sort of fast attack ability. That we shoot. That we have bioplasma, and that we're surprisingly dangerous. Bioplasma makes us dangerous. So we know that, falling from heaven, the Queen Mother told us that we were blessed with the power of stealth and hiding. And we also know, having fallen to the ground, that we are a gargoyle with the ability to attack speedily, and also that we have bioplasma, which is dangerous. And I care not. I'm not going to look to see if it's if that's a Tyranid or if it's what it is. That was the information that we obtained from there, from that page 47. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 is my magic number. That's the only reason why I jumped out right there and I saw that that's 47. That's, adds up. 4 and 7 adds up to 11 because I'm constantly adding those numbers. I'm wondering what we could do with that. If we just do anything with that. We could we look at the gematria of these words, like the gematria of the word gargoyle or whatever. But at least we have the tangent body. But you can see that even if we do this might not be something that I would want to do like over the course of a couple of sessions. But you see how doing this moves you forward, and you could see that you could obtain a character this way. You could obtain a storyline this way. You could obtain, things moving this way. It's difficult going because we don't have we didn't have a specific necessarily agenda. I mean, I could just say, well, I could just go forward 11 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Why don't you just add 11 pages, you idiot? Anyway. Check this out. The first thing that jumps out to me is that there's a vehicle here called a wave serpent. I don't know, but I feel like we have to fight it. We don't have to fight the wave serpent, but I feel like the first thing that's going down. Jonas said this would be a fun way to create a character. I said I think the first thing that's going down though. Okay, first experience, moment of note, action, right? Is we encounter a strange beast, a wave serpent. Now, here's what I know about the cipher system enough. I know that technically all that the wave serpent needs to be, I think, to be a monster in the cipher system is to have a difficulty rating. Because remember, the rule for difficulty is anytime you attempt a task, assign a difficulty to that task, and you roll a d20 against the associated target. The target number is 4 times the difficulty roll of that number or higher. So look, if we say that we're this gargoyle, then we encounter a wave serpent. First of all, check this out. Yo. Check this out. Hold on. Ooh. Let me do this with one of these AI programs. AI programs are for shills. Love doctors. No, wave serpent. No. Come on. Wave serpent. Okay. I'm going to make it. Ooh. Ooh. Let's do that one. I know this is like captivating. So what we'll do is we'll give it we'll roll a 10-sided die to figure out what its difficulty rating will be, and then we'll see if we can cheese it. And we'll roll one die to see if we beat it. It'll just be like that. We'll fucking roll the thing, and if we don't, we'll fucking die. It'll cheese us, and that'll be the end of the thing. Well, that's cooking because I'm obviously using an AI program to think if it can come up with a wave serpent. Little gargoyle, you don't even have a name. 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 But you're about to face the wave serpent. Don't go insane. You might win the battle. You might lose in the end. All that really matters is that you had fun, my friend. What's the difficulty rating on the wave serpent? We'll roll a 10-sided die. See what's up with my hell of a guy. A 0. That's a 10. That's impossible. We can't beat him. But wait, we can hide. Because we've got the stealth skill, right? That's all we said we were going to do. I'm going to mulligan that one. Three. Come on, we gotta give the guy a shot, right? Because it's like right, because at least 3. That's 3 times 4 is 12. That's gonna be difficult to beat on a D20, but he's got a shot, right? He's got a chance. He's got odds. What are you doing? Oh, you can't do Wave Serpent? You think that's perverted AI program? Really? Dickbag? Fucking shitbags. Right, I gotta do a 12 or better. Jay Roach can only hide for so long. I like that. Ooh! A 5. Should we give our guy like 2 out of 3? Like should be like 2 out of 3? Like our guy gets like people get like 2 hitboxes, like you know what I mean? Come on. So he's got hit a 12 or better, right? Come on. 2 out of 3. So that's it. No bonuses. Come on now. We're like, listen, we already gave him a mulligan on the first 10. You know what I mean? Come on now. 1. Even with 2 out of 3, it's like when Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey when they're playing death. Best 2 out of 3. We're dead. The Wave Serpent. Look, we opened up on the Wave Serpent, and I was a genius. But check it out, Wave Serpent, and the program didn't want to generate them. It kept on saying that it didn't want to generate it, and it always does that when it thinks it's NSFW. Okay, and check it out. It's on page 69. Okay. What did we learn? We learned you could spend an hour with people playing Michigas games and demonstrate that without even having a rule set, you can start playing solo RPGs. Because all it is play. If the name of the game is playing a game, then play. David Bucky. I learned the AI controls us. Then you've learned nothing. Let me start from the beginning. Okay, listen. I'm almost tempted to say, well, look, if we wanted to, we could start another guy and say, figure out the last page we started off with. If we ended on page 69, whoa, check this out. Yo, check this out. What if the Wave Serpent then has to continue the journey? What do we pick up the story from the wave serpent's point of view? And then the wave serpent has to get onto the time ship. Models, multiple configurations reported. Forge World of Origin, so it's Eldar. Several Eldar craft worlds manufacture the Wave Serpent. Some Exodite worlds have limited manufacture and repair facilities. Rear access hatch, twin linked shuriken cannons, and twin linked shuriken catapults with numerous alternative configurations. Main ammunitions, 5,000 shuriken canyon salvos. It weighs 23.5 tons. Oh, man. How much what's its crew? Its crew, it's 2 pilots and a gunner. Passengers, 10 Eldar or 5 Wraithguard and a Warlock. Dude. Assaulting the vehicle. When moving to assault a vehicle, the attackers must still move by the most direct route. This means you can't run past the front of a vehicle and attack to the side. Although the orcs would like to get to the rear access ramp before planting the tank buster bombs, they have no choice but to attack the front of the Chimera this turn. Here's some fluff here. What's it say here? The canyons of the ruined city trap the smoke, dust, and noise of battle, turning each rubble-choked street into a hell of half-glimpsed shadows and phantoms. Trooper Corkin nervously licked his lips, glancing up the shattered street along the gun sight of his laser cannon. There were reports of Eldar movements in this sector, and he didn't want to suffer the same fate as First Platoon. They'd been found cut to shreds with the safety still on their guns. He and Fredericks were positioned 100 meters in front of their platoon, an early warning in case the decadent aliens came this way. The thought didn't comfort him much. Corkin cocked his head as a low humming penetrated the crash of distant artillery, and he watched the smoke suddenly part as though brushed by an invisible hand. The sleek prow of an Eldar vehicle emerged seconds later. Corkin squeezed the trigger on the laser cannon, watching as the powerful beam rippled as though traveling through water before it struck the fast-moving vehicle. Corkin's jaw fell open as the blast scored the vehicle's side, but did no further damage. A warm electric sensation enveloped him as the wave serpent's energy field watched over him, and he never saw the blow from the striking scorpion's chain sword that killed him. Boss. So it's Eldar. So when we talk about the 20-year nostalgia loop, and we talk about the meta RPG, we talk about things have to go with the same year. Like, we want time consistency. So Eldar are like space elves. Okay? So 2003, you could match it with things from, and you can match things with things that are from like before it, because things that are from before it could have been around when, you're trying to create experiences that could have been possible at earlier points in time. So even though it's 2023, we're working with materials that are from 2013 and earlier. So this entire experience, besides, certain things that we may have mentioned from the present moment, would have been possible. This gaming experience technically would have been possible as far back as 2013, because all of our experiences with the game books and with the tarot cards, which were from 1998, all of that could have happened as early as 2013, because that's when the last piece of material was written. So if we're looking about trying to think about, what kind of people that we could populate the Wave Serpent with, I wouldn't want to use, I wouldn't want to generate an elf character using necessarily even Cipher System or Numenera rules, because that's 2013. I could do that with if I was trying to bring Eldar into Numenera, because Eldar from 2003 existed before that, but I try not to mix things from different times. So if you could use something from 2008, Dungeons and Dragons from 3.0, because it would have been, around, but 2003 is when 3.5 came out. So that's like dead on point. This is from the Forgotten Realms, the Unapproachable East. I don't know if it's this notion of a warlock, of an Eldar warlock, because I think we'd be dead in the water if we tried to produce like a whole crew. And I think even trying to generate a character, I don't know how far we would get, but if we maybe we'll just generate. Let's see what's going on. We have prestige classes. Ooh, they've got like a star elf. That's exactly what we want. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Oh, it's on page fucking 9. Look at this shit. Ooh. Look at this shit. Oh my god. Look at this. Star elf. The great depths of the Yerwood hide an ancient secret long forgotten by folk beyond Algaron's borders and not widely known even within. The Star Elves, an elven subrace that retreated from Faerun to an extraplanar refuge known as Sildur. But we can make reference to that because the Eldar are a space race. So then what we could do here is you can see through the 20-year nostalgia loop and through the time travel technology and through the meta RPG, this whole jazz, we're planar jumping and we're jumping through game worlds. That's the fun. That's the imagination. Okay. Description: most Star Elves alignment. Most Star Elves prefer not to involve themselves in the world's troubles. Star Elf society value individual accomplishment and fight over collective effort as they lean toward chaotic rather than lawful alignments. Try to think. +2 to charisma, -2 to constitution. Star Elves are graceful but frail, medium size. Immunity to magic and sleep spells, Low light vision, otherworldly touch. Between sunset and sunrise, a Star Elf confers the ghost touch ability on any melee weapon she wields and any armor she wears, but only so long as she keeps the weapon in hand or wears the armor. Star Elves have a magical affinity for starlight that gives them an unusual edge in fighting extra-dimensional foes. Extraplanar. Star Elves are not outsiders, but they are not native to Faerun. Spells and effects that target extraplanar creatures affect Star Elves. Banishment, dismissal, and similar effects that banish outsiders return a Star Elf to Sildur. I would say it returns them to their planet of origin. +2 racial bonus on listen, search, and spot checks. A Star Elf who merely passes within 5 feet of a secret or concealed door is entitled to a search check to notice. There you go. Star Elves have no racial weapon proficiencies. Ultimate favorite class, Bard. A multi-class Star Elf's Bard class does not count when determining whether she suffers an XP penalty. Fascinating. Well, we know how to do this. So we're doing a lateral move. So we're 2003. We're at the 2003 layer. So we have a wave servant and this. Oh, well, let's do this. Let's figure it out. Let's figure it out if we can do the successful, like the jump of the quest. Okay. So original, nameless, gargoyle, incarnation, ate it. 2, the wave serpent. But I'm going to say, but within eyesight of nearby Eldar, and I'm going to put Equiv, Star Elf, DD 3.5. Warlock. Okay? I put test for quest transfer. Okay? So we're going to see if by some magical power. So here's what we're saying. Okay. So when the wave serpent with the gargoyle fell from heaven, 9th level, the Heaviside layer, and he came down. They came down, and were beginning their quest. This quest that was necessary, whatever, to get to the Timeship. Okay, and unfortunately, their first encounter was with this, my God, the Wave Serpent from Warhammer 40K. Who knew, right? That's life. What are you gonna do? And we're not even necessarily at this point making it a vehicle. It doesn't even necessarily need to be a vehicle or whatever. But there was a Star Elf, Eldar, whatever you want to call it, analog, whatever, out to the sea, warlock that's observing this. So now we're going to test to see whether the quest of the gargoyle to get on the Timeship, whether this quest has the power to transfer, like a life of its own, whether it will transfer to the warlock, whether there's some sort of extraness about this quest that can jump from person to person, from soul to soul, driving ever forward towards the Timeship. That's the evolution of the storyline. So we still the same rules apply. So we would have to assign. We'll roll for what? We'll roll for the difficulty. We roll a 10-sided die to figure out the difficulty, and we'll roll free. We won't say that we won't roll a die and say every time, like, we won't roll a die, and if it comes up 5, say the difficulty for soul transfer of the quest is a 5. We'll say that each time, if it transfers or we need to do a transfer, we'll do a roll to figure out the difficulty. Remember, we've adopted the difficulty rankings and kind of DC challenge system, the core mechanic, essentially, I guess, of Cypher system, for want of a better term. But we're just assigning the difficulty task, the difficulty level, by random roll. So this could be impossible. We could be dead. 5. We're not dead. But the difficulty, that's the difficulty. So that's rated 5 is, in human terms and language, is challenging. Even trained people often fail, but that's from the perspective of the quest itself. And it's more than challenges. It's impossible because we'd have to roll a 20 on a 20-sided die, right? We'd have to roll a 20 because if it's 4 times, right. Anytime you attempt a task, assign a difficulty to that task, roll a d20, so the target number is 4 times difficulty roll of that number or higher. So we got to roll a 20. So if it's 20, we get the quest transfers. If not, the warlock goes with the, I guess, strange feeling, nothing. 4. No. Okay. The quest is over. There you go. But we got another 20 minutes out of it. So there's that. I'm so glad we had this time together. Hey, man, I tried to save it. At the end of the day, but that's life, right? You're a bodybuilding war machine. You get hit by a car, right? You practice kung fu and you're the ass kicking machine and no one can touch you in the dojo. And then someone shoots you, right? Some weak sauce loser shoots you from behind in your sleep, you know? Chance. Chance operations. The quest didn't transfer. So whatever energy is in the realm of Numenera that wants to go on this time quest adventure didn't make it through this time. But next time we try this, we'll have a better idea, right? We know that there needs to be some way to drive the narrative, that maybe we've discovered that we can use the books in this fashion, and we can use this methodology of traveling through the books and getting clues from the books and finding ourselves randomly. But maybe we still need to find a way to generate the action more consistently, or know that every time we do something, we have to do something else. So every time I got to those awkward moments of going, oh, what do we do next? I immediately have to, draw a tarot card and then say, from that tarot card, we have to immediately say, okay, we've got another plot point. We've done this, or we do this, or we move forward like that. And Brooke says, hey, I'm back. I think we're about to end, but it's good that you're back for the end. But we'll bring out 2 tarot cards. Actually, let me do it also like this. Okay. One last thing that I think, now we don't know. I have these ideas, and they if I say we'll do this again, we'll never do it again, right? That's always the way it works. That's always the way that it works. But this, with no idea, no rule set, nothing at all going to go on. We got session 1, maternal figure, Queen of Wands, rudimentary role system decided upon, obtained first skill, stealth, hide, body obtained, incarnation achieved, and or self-vision obtained, gargoyle, fast attack, bioplasma makes us dangerous. First experience with moment of note, action. We encounter a strange beast, a wave serpent. Original nameless gargoyle incarnation ate it to the wave serpent, but within eyesight of nearby Eldar, equivalent star elf from Dungeons and Dragons 3.5, warlock. Test for quest transfer. Test failed. End of that portion of session. But now check this out. Regeneration is the first word that I see from this book. Regeneration. That's from 2013's Numenera. from Warhammer 40K chapter approved from 2003, 10 years earlier from that. First word is corporal. Ten years earlier than that, 20 years before Numenera, 30 years earlier than where we are now. 1993 was 30 years ago. Referees is the first word I say. And then 1983, Timeship. First word, Gamora. Get out of town. Regeneration Corporal Referees Gamora. It could also be Regeneration Corporal Referees, like they own Gamora, like Regeneration Corporal Referees. Like there could be Regeneration Corporal Referee is a person and they possess Gamora or their personal Gamora. Or Regeneration Corporal is the person and they referee Gamora. They're in charge of refereeing Gamora. So that's a person and their job description. They're a Regeneration Corporal and they referee Gamora. That's how it works. The elephant in the room. How you doing? Regeneration Corporal referees Gamora. Put that into your AI art generation program and see what you get. Let's see what happens. Because that could be our character for next time or a character for next time. Warp. Gamora. There we go. Something nice. See what we get. The reason that we're here. Oh, hey. Stern individual. Give us a selection of different guys, all of whom seem to be relatively humorless. 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 Wait. Humorless. She's relatively humorless. Again, humorless. See if the realistic sign gives us. I don't know why they're not intimidated by our army, sir. They just don't take us seriously. It's the Kulats. It's the Kulats. There must be a particular corporal that looks like this guy because he's showing up in all my places. Anyway, this must be fascinating YouTube, let alone TV. Yep. Okay, yeah. Stern and humorless. Regeneration Corporal referees Gamora for a possible next time. There you go. Okay. And to end this stream, Regeneration Corporal referees Gamora. It will pull a card from 2003's Egyptian Tarot. It will juxtapose that with a card from the 1998 Cosmic Tarot. Interesting. We got two Trumps. And it's interesting because we were just talking about the Regeneration Corporal, and we've got the Emperor, and we've got the Chariot. And it's interesting because we were talking about the notion of going down and traveling and trying to get to the Timeship. And we started off with the first tarot card we pulled this evening when we were talking about this journey was the Queen of Wands, a maternal aspect, and a queen like the Empress that we juxtapose against the Emperor, but from that suit of fire, from that energy that we associate with the Emperor. So that's very interesting. We have that driving, of course, with the Chariot. We also have that, again, that imagery of a ship, of moving forward, of traveling. So this goes to show you, I take this as a message that it was a good thing that we did tonight in not going back and talking about more controversies within role-playing games, more nuttiness within the about role-playing games, but that instead we came back and played. And without having a campaign set up or a rule set up to go or anything complex ready to go, rather than do nothing, we said, we'll do this thing. Even this thing is loosey-goosey and crazy and strange all over the place. That works. Because all role-playing is imagination with input, and imagination with some tools. Not really tools to control your imagination, and not really tools to help your imagination, but tools for your imagination to play with and enjoy. Captain Kirk is climbing the mountain. Why is he climbing the mountain? He's trying to get into the Timeship. Because he's in love. I love you. And I shot back time and Gary traveled. I love you, I love you, I love you. If no one told me they loved you today, someone just did that. Someone is, I shot back in time and Gary traveled. My story, and I'm sticking to it. And I will catch you on the next one. Or will I? Would I? Would I? See anything get me in trouble, and everything that just ran through my head was like, no, that won't work. No, that will, no, that. Porn LA cockroach cartel, you know, I don't want to offend those guys. It's a porn demographic. Don't tell me I'm not a targeted individual. Do not tell me I'm not a targeted individual. Here we go. Have you seen Dark Dungeons based off of the Chick tracks? No, but I've heard about it. No, but I've heard about it. Exactly. No, no, I hear you, Tim. Tim, you did it for me, but I didn't want to offend those with and I wanted to resist the temptation to bring out wheelchair Barbie again. Listen, I love you. I'm gonna get myself in trouble. I'm gonna get everyone in trouble. And then the Chinese investor jumped out and yelled, "Supplies, supplies." No, no. Elephant in the room. That was a test. That last joke was a test. I can't believe you found that hysterical. Terrible. Report back to the training center, the ubiquitous. Let's stop. What I already did the. Why am I doing this? Let's go. Let's end the stream. Shall we? My God, a lot of things are wrong with me. It's you. No, it's you. Okay, it's me. It's clear to me.